7 money traps keeping the middle class stuck forever. Look, be honest for a second. You wake up, check your bank account, and think, okay, I'm not broke. Your bills are paid. You've got some savings. You even got a raise last year. But somehow, you still feel one bad month away from stress. Car repair, panic. Medical bill, anxiety. Job change? Maybe next year. And here's the part that really messes with your head. You're doing everything you were told was right. College, job, hard work, budgeting. Yet it feels like you're running on a treadmill that never speeds up, but never stops either. If that feels uncomfortably familiar, stay with me, because today we're breaking down the 7 money traps that quietly keep the middle class stuck forever, even when they're doing well. My name's Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about money and personal finance psychology. If you're someone who works hard, earns a decent income, but still feels financially stuck and unsure if you'll ever get ahead, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now, this isn't a stop buying coffee video. This isn't about shaming you, and this definitely isn't about hustle culture. This is about structural traps, psychological blind spots, and math that nobody explains clearly. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Trap number 1. Lifestyle creep disguised as deserving it. Here's the thing. Lifestyle creep doesn't show up as irresponsibility. It shows up as logic. You get a raise, say from $60,000 to $70,000. That's an extra $833 per month before taxes. And you think, I deserve a nicer apartment. I've earned a better car. This will reduce stress. Now, you might be thinking, but Zach, my life did improve. Sure, temporarily. But here's what most people don't realize. Lifestyle upgrades permanently raise your baseline expenses, but raises are never guaranteed. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, over 60% of Americans who earn more than they did 5 years ago still report living paycheck to paycheck. That's not a spending problem. That's a structural problem. It's like increasing the water level in a boat with a slow leak. You feel stable until you don't. Action step. Every raise should be split automatically. 50% lifestyle, 30% investing, 20% cash buffer. No debate, no vibes, just math. Trap number 2, the good debt illusion. Look, this one makes people uncomfortable because we've been told student loans are investments, bigger homes are assets, car payments are normal. But debt doesn't care about intentions. Here's a simple example. Let's say you have $40,000 in student loans at 6% and $30,000 car loan at 7%. That's roughly $4,900 per year in interest. That's $4,900 you must earn before taxes just to stand still. This is where it gets really interesting. The psychological effect of debt reduces risk-taking behavior. Studies from the Federal Reserve show that households with high fixed debt are significantly less likely to invest, change jobs, or start businesses. Debt doesn't cost money. It costs options. Action step. Stop labeling debt as good or bad. Label it as growth enhancing or growth limiting. If it limits flexibility, it's a trap. Trap number 4. Saving instead of investing out of fear. Now, you might be thinking, Zach, at least I'm saving. That's responsible. Yes, but only to a point. Let's talk math. If inflation averages 3% per year and your savings account earns 1%, you're losing 2% annually in purchasing power. $50,000 today becomes the equivalent of $27,500 in 30 years. And here's the psychological effect people avoid investing: loss aversion. We feel losses twice as intensely as gains, so parking money in cash feels safe, even when it's mathematically guaranteed to lose value. Here's what most people don't realize. Not investing is still a risk, it's just a quiet one. Action step. Emergency fund, 3 to 6 months. Everything else, automated, low-cost index funds. No emotions, just systems. Trap number 4, trading time for money forever. Look, this one is subtle. Middle-class success is built on being reliable. Show up, do the work, get paid. But here's the problem. Your income is capped by hours in a day, your energy, and your employer's permission. According to the IRS, over 70% of Americans earn 100% of their income from a single source. That's not stability, that's concentration risk. Imagine investing all your money in one stock. You'd never do that. Yet people do it with income every single day. So action step, build one secondary income stream that scales, isn't tied to hours, and grows while you sleep. Dividends, digital products, equity ownership. Start small, start ugly, start now. Trap number 5, outsourcing financial thinking. Look, this one is subtle. Middle-class success is built on delegating money decisions. My employer handles retirement. My advisor knows best. The bank wouldn't offer it if it were bad. But incentives matter. A study from the Securities and Exchange Commission found that commission-based advisors recommend higher fee products even when cheaper alternatives exist. That's not evil. That's human nature. And when you don't understand your money, you can't defend it. So action step. Learn just enough to ask better questions. What's the expense ratio? How are you compensated? What's the opportunity cost? You don't need to be an expert. You need to be awake. Trap number 6, thinking net worth equals income. This one messes with people's identity. You make $100,000. Your friend makes $60,000. So obviously you're ahead, right? Not necessarily. If you earn $100K but spend $95K, have high debt, and invest nothing, your net worth is stagnant. Meanwhile, someone earning $60K, investing $10,000 per year at 8%, builds over $1.2 million in 30 years. Income feeds ego. Net worth feeds freedom. Here's what most people don't realize. Wealth is what you keep, not what you earn. Action step. Track net worth quarterly. Ignore income as a status symbol. Trap number 7, delaying action because I'll figure it out later. This is the most dangerous trap of all, because it feels harmless. I'll invest next year. I'll learn once I make more. I'll optimize later. But time is the multiplier you can't replace. If you invest $500 per month starting at 25, you'll have roughly $1.1 million by 65 at 8%. Start at 35? That drops to $540,000. Same effort, same amount, half the outcome. This isn't about discipline, it's about urgency. Closing, breaking the cycle. Look, I get frustrated about this stuff because I've seen how hard people work only to get trapped by systems nobody explains. The middle class isn't lazy, it's misinformed. But here's the good news. Every trap we covered today is fixable. Not overnight, not perfectly, but permanently. So here's your challenge. Pick one trap from this list, just one, and take one action this week to break it. Because the gap between stuck and free isn't income, it's awareness followed by action. If this helped you, hit subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and I'll see you in the next one.